Hey everybody, Nathan Elson here, and today I'm going to take you through a really easy lighting setup. We're going to use one light, no modifiers, and two V-flats to make an image that looks exactly like this. Let's just get into it. So V-flats are one of the most versatile, but yet I feel one of the most underutilized pieces of photography equipment on the market. So today I just wanted to take you guys through a really simple setup using two V-flats and one light to create a very soft, beautiful, cinematic style portrait. Now what I mean by cinematic is if you see any movie or anything like that where people say that it was like beautifully lit or beautifully shot, very cinematic looking, the lighting is often coming from behind the subject. So there's a lot of window light or things like that where the lighting is coming from behind and wrapping around the subject's face. Now that just creates a lot of shape, a lot of interest, a lot of texture. It's a very flattering, very beautiful style of light, and it's something that I've been using a lot more in my photography work. And so with that, I'm just gonna take you guys behind the scenes and run you through this lighting setup. So here we are in the studio, and as you can see, I've got one Godox 8600 Pro firing directly into the white part of this V-flat. Now, if we pause here, I just wanna talk to you about the positioning of the model. As you can see, she's essentially, lined up right in the middle of the outside of the V-flat. So half of her is essentially sitting on the white part of the V-flat, the other half is sitting outside of the V-flat. And the reason for that is I want that light to come from behind and wrap around her face. If she was too far into the V-flat, that lighting would fall very flat on her face and we would lose all of that shape. So as we come around to the side here, you can see just from here, you can tell from the modeling light how that light is essentially coming from behind and wrapping around her face. It's giving a lot of shape into the side of her nose, into her cheekbones, into the side of the face that's facing the camera. You're getting all of that shadow detail while still getting this really beautiful soft light that's emanating from behind and wrapping around the model's face. Now, a little pro tip here is you want to give your subject a point to look at. Now, I found that when the model was looking in a very specific area of the V-flat, that's when I got the best catch light. The light kind of wrapped around the face in the most flattering way. It was where essentially I wanted her to focus. So all I did was I took a small piece of gaff tape and I stuck it on the inside of the V-flat to give her something to focus on. And just doing that, it allows you to essentially spend more time taking photos and less time directing your subject as to where to look and why. So just a little quick thing, if you give your subjects something to look at, you can spend more time actually pushing the shutter. So just to break down this entire lighting setup, this is what it looks like if you're using just one 8600 Pro with only one V-flat. The lighting is very contrasty. You're getting a lot of darkness in the shadows. You're losing that detail of the hair, different things like that. It can work in some instances, but it's not the look that I wanted for this image. So I'm gonna bring in a second V-flat here, and I'm gonna put the white side facing towards the model for some bounce. Now what that's going to do is it's not gonna essentially change the shaping of that main light, but it is gonna bring out the detail in her hair, some more detail in her back. You're not gonna lose so much to the darkness while still retaining that really beautiful cinematic style of light that's coming around. It just opens things up a little bit more so you get more detail in the final image. And so to walk you through the settings of this image, the light metered on the model is f5.6 at 1/200th of a second at ISO 100, which means that my camera is also going to be set to f5.6 at 1/200th of a second at ISO 100. Now this whole setup is positioned just a few feet away from a super white backdrop, and that light that's hitting the V-flat and bouncing back towards the backdrop is what's turning it to that light gray. Now the camera I'm shooting on is a Nikon D800 with the Sigma 85mm f1.4 art lens attached, and that is tethered into Capture One Pro. So with that, hopefully you guys picked up something from this that you can use in your next shoot going forward. Now, if you guys have any comments or questions, use the comments box down below. That's what it's there for. If you are looking for V-flats, I can't recommend vflatworld.com enough. Check them out, they will hook you up. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers.